Jack is a first-time visitor. After today, he's a last-time visitor. This is Dave and Megan. In 3 weeks, they've been greeted once. In 1 week, they'll be gone. Heather called the church office for help 3 times. No one returned her call. Heather will never return either. Jack, David and Megan, and Heather all disappeared, and no one even noticed.
The feeling that they get is, I don't matter.
The biggest complaint I heard while I was on staff at the church was, I want to get connected and I don't know how.
People long for community, they long for relationship.
People want a sense of belonging.
I mean, it's the same thing when we're longing for a relationship with Christ. You know, we need a relationship with Christ, but we also need a relationship with other believers.
You want that to happen organically, and you want people to connect themselves.
If we're not providing that opportunity and that venue for people to connect with each other, except once a week, that's not enough.
Being a pastor, you're just pulled in many different directions. I think if you talk to any pastor, myself included, it's like, how do I fit everything in the week?
They're overworked and very overwhelmed.
If they can distribute that work over more people who have come to the church and said, hey, I have a heart to serve, I want to help, then CCB becomes a vital tool.
People call and just say, do you have so-and-so's number, or do you have their email address, or can you update it in the system? And there would be Excel files floating everywhere. What's the newest updated one?
What CCB does is it gives people the ability to communicate back to the church and for two-way communication to be going on. It becomes very interactive.
Now, anyone can update themselves in the church. It's easy to do. I don't receive those phone calls anymore. It just doesn't happen.
Church Community Builder, CCB, an internet software program that helps people in your church connect and communicate.
And we were looking for something that would really help our people build relationships and help us as a staff to manage everything.
But the biggest thing that we try to do is really help multiply the capacity of the people in the church, really giving the leadership, the pastors, and the volunteers the ability to do more work in the very limited amount of time that they have.
Once you start working with CCB, you're going to be amazed at how it helps you do so many things that you couldn't have done by yourself alone before. It multiplies your efforts.
We empower multiple people, and when you do that, when you empower multiple people to carry that burden, you lighten the load.
Pastors need to know about this because it keeps the pressure off their admin people, because their admins are trying so hard. They want to help their pastors, but it's a lot of things to keep up with. Trying not to forget to send a card to this person a year from now, or on the anniversary of the death of their uncle or their husband or something, and trying to remember all that stuff. When you enter it into CCB, into a process queue, it'll come up and remind you a year from now. You don't have to worry about writing it in calendars and keeping track of it and sticky notes everywhere. It's all in CCB.
The best thing that I have found is someone comes on Sunday morning, and now we have someone enter the information in CCB, and the process begins. We know that the new person's there. Where are they in coming into our church and being a part of our church?
So they feel like somebody noticed, somebody cared. I wasn't just another person who walked through the door.
We were led to build a software solution that was focused on people and not so much on data.
So when my boss comes to me, Jim comes to me and says, hey Dan, what happened to this person? I can't be like, oh, I don't know, versus I do know.
When you get people connected and when you allow them to communicate with each other and with the leadership of the church, what you do is create a greater sense of belonging to that church family.
And that's what CCB does. It gives you the ability to make people feel a part of something that is really valuable, really exciting, really on the move. When they get online, they see stuff's going on in their groups, there's stuff going on the calendar, and there are all these things that are happening, and because it interfaces with your website.
It's just exciting to me to know that we're helping churches do church better, whatever that looks like for them.
Instead of the church having to adapt to the software, okay, in terms of how they do church, CCB will adapt to how they do church.
If there's a way to prevent people from falling through the cracks and prevent people from feeling like they don't matter or that they're not noticed or valued or cared about, then why not use a tool that can help?
That's what CCB does, is provides that venue for people to be able to come in, communicate, find out information that they want to find out, connect with each other, make a friends list, feel like they belong somewhere.
This is the heart of CCB. Encouraging, equipping, empowering for a greater purpose, so that together we can connect and communicate the light of God's news to a dark world. The power of God's love to connect us starts right here with the church. But if we do our job right, it will never end here.